Hey everyone, welcome back to Unbiased Magic Reviews, the only magic review channel here on YouTube that isn't trying to sell you something. Today I have a mentalism review for you. We're going to be taking a look at Emma Wooding's 10-star mind explosion effect. Now this was recently put out and you can pick this up from your favorite magic dealer for about $10. And as always, I'm going to go through the ad copy for you, tell you guys what's true and what's not true. Then I'm going to go over some basic questions you guys probably have, and then I'm going to give you my own thoughts. Now, this is an effect I've been performing for a while because I originally learned this from her 100-page book that was called Remastered Volume 1, and that focused on billet work. I'm a big fan of billet work with mentalism. I think it's the purest form of mentalism. This is a type of strolling mentalism, and it looks very impromptu in nature to your spectators. So let's first start by going over the ad copy, and I actually took a screenshot for you guys so you can take a look at it as I read it to you. And here it says that the spectator names 10 letters. Each letter is written down, then one by one they are crossed out and eliminated in a fair and easy to follow manner. No equivoque. Leaving the spectator with one final letter. They then name a name starting with that final letter before it is revealed to have been predicted from the very start. Where that is partially true, what they're leaving out here is that there's actually two parts to this effect. The first part doesn't use equivoque, but the second part does, and they're not telling you that there. So this is dishonest. Okay, the second part of this says the participant never writes down anything and yet you're able to predict the thought of name. That's true. The effect is perfect for the casual close-up environment. That's true. No nail writing, no gimmicks, no anagrams, no double writing, easy to perform. Okay, all of that other stuff is true overall. So I myself have changed the handling of the effect because the way that she teaches it to you, she uses a stack of billets. And I don't think that's a good way to reveal a prediction. I think if you're going to do an effect that has a prediction, the prediction has to be isolated from the very start. So I never liked that part of the handling. Some basic questions you probably have about this is how difficult is this to perform? It's not difficult at all. It's really self-working almost completely. Is this fooling to people? It is. It's really fooling to people, especially, well, the way that I do it, it is. I've actually changed the handling that I do it because I felt that the original handling wasn't as good. And I'm going to show you guys how I changed it myself. Okay, so do I think this is worth it? I don't think that it's worth buying this as a single download because this single download is $10. I would recommend instead you guys pick up her book, which is called Remastered Volume 1, because it's $30 and you're going to get lots more effects in there. So I don't think that this single effect is worth just the $10. What's the difference between this version and the version that's in the book? There's no difference. It's exactly the same. It's presented in exactly the same way. How are the angles on this? The angles are really fine. You don't have to worry about that at all. There's zero sleight of hand, so you don't have to worry that anyone's gonna see anything at all. What about the method? Is the method new? Is this some clever new idea that she came up with? No, no, no. The method is as old as the hills. As they say, there's nothing new under the sun, and this is a perfect example of that. When you get this download, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, I've seen this 100 times before. Although her application of this is kind of unique in a way, although spectators will never ever figure out what you're doing. So it really plays over well overall. This is obviously the kind of effect you don't want to really repeat for people in general. So I think it's a decent effect overall, and I'm going to tell you guys how I've changed it in my own handlings because I never liked her idea of using a stack of billets. It just doesn't look clean. So the way that I've changed it is, first of all, I used an envelope for the prediction. And if you have John Sesta's positively negative effect, that is how I gimmick the envelope myself, which literally takes less than 2 minutes. So that way I can avoid the equivoque at the end because I don't like that because that doesn't look good. Plus, I've also changed this in another way, which is that what I do is I write on the back of the envelope, think of a name that starts with And that way, when I take the prediction out, I put it like this on the table, and they can't see what's written on the back. We go through the procedure. When they get down to the letter, then I say, look, I've had a prediction here from the start. I pick it up and I say, look, I wrote a question here even before we started. Take a look at it. And they read the question, they name the name. I immediately open the envelope, take out the prediction, hand it to them. They can see that they're literally, it's impossible. Somehow I predicted ahead of time what they were going to think of. There's nothing else in the envelope. It's you went totally clean, and it just really looks good overall. Now, I'll tell you guys that what I found in my own performances from trial and error is that I think the effect plays off a lot better when the question is written ahead of time, because I had this sensation from performing this originally the way that I learned it, that after the person comes up with the letter and then you ask the question, it's almost like as if you've tailored the question based on, you know, the letter that they've come up with. For some reason, I found that this plays stronger when you have the question written way ahead of time. I just think that that just goes over better. In my own experience from performing this for real people, remember you guys that I actually perform this stuff that I'm reviewing for you. This isn't just like, you know, I'm not just unboxing something and going over it like other review channels out there do. In any event, that is what I found is the best way to perform the effect. I don't like the way she goes over it in the book with the stack of billets, or in this download. It's exactly the same. Now, I did see there in the ad copy that I guess that she's putting out like a rehandling of this next month in her new version, remastered volume 2. And that will be interesting to take a look at. I'll probably end up picking that up at some point. So anyway, that's my advice to you guys today. If you are interested in this effect, I would recommend you pick up her book. Don't pick up this effect. It's not worth $10. And the other thing I would say is I would recommend that you consider doing it the way that I do it, with the prediction in the envelope. And that way you can get around the equivoke aspect of the effect. Overall, I would rate this effect as 3 out of 5. It really plays well, although I don't like the way that she describes it in her download and in the book. I mean, I think it's a lot stronger with the envelope, but that would also entail that you would have to know John Sesta's effect to be able to know how to gimmick the envelope yourself for a squeaky clean ending that looks really good. So just the way that it is now, I can only say that it's like a 3 out of 5 star overall. So that's my review for you guys today. I hope that you guys have found this informative. If you have any questions, just let me know. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my unbiased magic reviews. And I'll see you guys on the next review.